Sleeping.
It's like the GNS students, just getting myself together. It's usually someone to I'll sit.
Sounds like a soundtrack from a Wizard of Oz.
It is very old song. It came out like years before Beyond.
It's got that like gramophone ring.
I always wonder, like, why is your pizza pizza?
How much is the pizza? I thought it every week.
I just wanted to
That's a good thing,
Yeah. Hey, Sean. I got some single place scratch cards for you. We can switch each other if you want. I'm alright.
I know.
Oh, my name is Max. Are you ready for Jordan's here. It's gonna be a great meeting.
He's an Max. He's an emeritus.
Oh, emeritus.
Yeah, what an awesome.
That's Director Emeritus Jordan.
Y'all feeling good today? I'll tell you what, I'm feeling good today. Feeling good today.
Yeah. Are you all set up?
My black I still don't have one. Yeah, Park. I need a black.
Don't do that.
You never see me after.
It's just if you're fast.
Come see me after.
It's my God. Wait, Nick, I have a really funny question. Can I have it? Wait, I know. I'm ringing today. It's not even. It's kind of. I don't know. Yeah, inherent look.
Oh no.
Generation to generation, it's got this.
The mic's not on.
Yeah, that's the best kind of stuff.
Yeah, cameras. clock down.
15 minutes before class.
Good evening, everybody. Please make sure you check in. Make sure you check in before you start here.
It's 7 o'clock. Oh, I'm scared. I definitely.
Time 7:01, I call this session of the Whitewater Student Government to order. If you're able, please rise alongside me as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. With that, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Senator Wisnowski, Senator Carter,
Here.
Senator Janetti,
Here.
Senator Gielan,
Here.
Senator Lang,
Here.
Senator Liebert,
Here.
Senator Majors,
Present.
Senator Monroe,
Here.
Senator Patricus,
Present.
Senator Purnell,
Present.
Senator Reber,
Present.
Senator Reyes,
Here.
Senator Schmidt,
Present.
Senator Chalfant,
Present.
Senator Thompson,
Present.
Senator Vanderhyde,
Present.
Senator Wheaton,
Present.
Speaker Wilson.
Present. All righty. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. It's so good to have you all. We're going to do a couple housekeeping things before we get started, a little abnormal. Number one, I want to say happy Indigenous People Day. Number two, I'd like us all to take a moment, put our hands together and recognize Emeritus member. In fact, Director Emeritus, Jordan Ramos. For those of you that don't know what the title Emeritus means, it's the highest honor our organization can bestow upon anyone. So we are honored to have you in our presence today, Jordan. And the agenda item that I'm doing right now is a note from the speaker. It's customary that when an officer resigns of the Senate, we give an announcement. So I'm now officially announcing to the Senate that last week, on October 9th, Blake Irwin resigned from his Senate seat as well as the parliamentarianship. So thank you all for being with us tonight. And with that, we will move back into the agenda order, starting with special orders. We're going to go right into the Senate oath of office. If you were elected or appointed to a Senate seat last week, and if you had to take the oath of office but got your packet approved by the clerk, please join me up front. So good to see you. Okay. Given you have been chosen by the students of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater as a senator on this student government, understanding that you have been chosen to perform such an active and important role, do you accept the position of senator and all the responsibilities, duties, and privileges it will include? If so, say, I will to the best of my ability.
I will to the best of my ability.
Wonderful. Repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Max Marty,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to be knowledgeable of
to be knowledgeable of,
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
to uphold the WSG Constitution,
the WSG standing rules,
the WSG standing rules,
and university policy,
and university policy,
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to the newest senator of the Whitewater Student Government, Max Marty. Oh, wonderful. With that, we will move on to item B in special orders, election of a parliamentarian. The way an election of a parliamentarian or any Senate officer runs is we'll start by taking nominations. Those folks are similar to the appointment process, which I do believe all of you have now seen, will come up to the podium. They'll have some time to tell us all why they want to be the next parliamentarian in Whitewater student government. Then we will proceed with a roll call vote to elect our new parliamentarian. So with that, I'm looking for nominations for parliamentarian. And I'd like to start with one. I'd like to nominate Senator Permet. You accept? Wonderful. Any other nominations? Deputy Speaker Patrice?
Senator Schmidt.
I accept. Wonderful. Senator Lang?
Senator Lofton. Or sorry, Senator Reber.
You accept?
Accept.
Wonderful. Senator Wheaton?
Senator Schaffner.
I accept.
Wonderful. Senator Patrice? Deputy Speaker Patrice.
Senator Reber.
I accept.
Any other nominations?
Senator Lieber.
I accept. Wonderful. Any other nominations? For once? Deputy Speaker Patrice?
Senator Carter.
I decline.
Any other nominations? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, alrighty, wonderful. If all of those candidates who accepted their nomination can walk up, ideally that direction, so you can tell the president if he spelled your name correctly. And if you could stand in the order that our wonderful and honorable WSG president has typed your name in, that would most help all of the body.
So good. We got Weaver. All right, stop for a second.
Stop the cord over there.
Folks, you want to keep in mind, when you see the camera here, when you're speaking and you get in front of the camera.
You can do it. Church. Awesome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, Reber. Then we can leave it. Okay, so you should put a little bit. You see the camera that you're trying to get into? Okay, we have it like that. Okay, see that one? Try my best to keep you on camera.
Thank you.
Yes?
Can we do a little more, verb that way, so not like verb?
That would be ideal. Right behind us. For us.
I'm gonna do my best to keep you all on the camera.
All right, wonderful. There is, we'll do a 5-minute time limit on why you want to be the next parliamentarian of the Whitewater student government. Tell us your name, your major, like I said, a little bit why you want to be the next parliamentarian, and then pass the mic in that order. Run it down. When you're ready, your time starts.
Hello. As you all probably know by now, I'm Jordan Furnell. I am a political science education major. But what you might not know about me is this is a position that I have been looking forward to running for a minute. I believe it was after my second meeting here, I believe it was Blake Irwin aside and said, this is something that I intend to run for. I of course didn't expect it to be so soon, but here we are. I see this position as an advisory role. Whenever I had a question beginning in this org, I would go to the parliamentarian, be it on the standing rules of the structure of the organization, anything. My first instinct would be to go to the parliamentarian, and that is the role that I intend to play for all of you. I really wish that the parliamentarian takes a large role in assisting everybody within the student government in whatever their endeavors may be. My goals for this board as parliamentarian, if I am elected, I intend to, my first goal would be to create cheat sheets, essentially, of what Robert's Rules of Order are, the Wisconsin Open Meetings Law, and possibly the WSG Standing Rules and Constitution. These are all documents that are quite lengthy and they can be confusing to a lot of people, and I want to sort of clear the air on what they are. I also am looking to sort of further define and shape what outreach events are. An idea that I had was sort of a town hall meeting of people come and voice their concerns, or maybe working with the director of communications a little bit closer and doing more outreach in that way. Altogether, I hope that you all can understand my passion for this role. It is something that I do not take lightly, and it is something that I have been thinking about and would love to shape further with all of your input in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Time starts whenever you begin speaking.
Hello all. I'm going to keep this kind of short and brief because I do have to leave pretty quick. But the reason I want to be parliamentarian is I kind of want to, in Blake's honor, finish out the year strong. Obviously, he put a lot of work into this position, and obviously kind of carrying that torch and making sure that we finish out the semester strong is very important to me. Another big thing that I kind of want to work on and do is flexibility of outreach. Outreach is like a fundamental component of the Senate, so kind of having more flexible options for Senate outreach is really important to me. If you don't know, I work about 30 hours a week as a lifeguard. I don't have all the time in the world to do outreach. So obviously I want to work with senators as much as possible to make sure that, you know, they can still be counted for outreach and it's not as strict as it may have once been. And overall, like I said, I just want to, of course, work with other senators. I've been around the Senate for a while now, and obviously there's a lot of new faces in here that I kind of want to get to know and kind of hopefully guide in the right direction, and hopefully you guys help you achieve your goals. That's about it for me.
Thank you very much. Your time will start whenever you begin speaking.
Great. So I'm Lachlan Reader. I'm a history major with a political science minor, and I go to law school with that. I showed pigs and cattle and was a 4-H from when I was a little kid, all the way as an adult. So I know the value of both hard work and perseverance. I really want this role because I see parliamentarian as a role that can be much more impactful than it has in the past. I think that, like my two colleagues have said before, I think that outreach events are a little bit confusing at this point, and they can be hard, especially for newer senators who don't know what outreach is. I've talked to senators who are completely confused about what outreach is, even much after the time when they should have never been confused about that. Because that's the case, I plan to, like Nathan said, open up outreach a lot and kind of just make it so that if you come to me with an outreach event and I can tie it into something that would promote WSG in any way, I want you to do it. Even if it's a volunteer event, cabling, whatever that may be, even something like the triple R training that we had to do because it would help you outreach to students. Things like that are invaluable, and I would rather have you do something simple and complete it than do no outreach event at all. Much rather. Like Jordan said, I also think volunteering should be purely educational, and I really want to harp on that. I don't think any of the rules should be used in a way that would harm another person. I think the rules should be used to expedite the process and make our body more fast, more efficient, more productive. I also have a large respect for rules and laws, especially since I'm studying to be a lawyer. I have that knowledge and I really, really respect all that. And I also know how to go into dense texts like Robert's Rules of Order and interpret them and kind of make it all work. I have discussed with Oren already, and I plan to work with him to learn more of the parliamentary rules more of the niche ones that I don't know. If any of you didn't know, Oren is the parliamentarian for the largest student organization in the world. I want to get the name right, so I have to read about the paper. The National Association of College and University Residence Halls. So I plan to work with him, and if I was elected, if I was so lucky to be elected, I plan to work with him and make sure that everything's by the book. And I also plan to make flashcards. When I was kind of studying the standing rules for this position, because I wanted to at least memorize and know almost everything in the standing rules, I made flashcards for myself, and I said, I don't know why we don't have these, because these are so digestible and easy, and it would make the 50-page document that's really scary much easier. Overall, I kind of just want this role because I think it could be used much more efficiently, and I think it could be used so that our body could be more productive, and everybody could be closer together, and we could get more things done.
Thank you very much. Your time will begin. You can speak.
Hello everyone, my name is Luke Schopfnagel. I'm a biomedicine major, and I am not working with anyone or know the standing rules like my friend here, but I'm super eager to learn. I'm fairly new to the Senate. I was elected like 2 weeks ago, but I have a very strong background with parliamentary procedure. I competed with the FFA team who moved the state 2 years in a row, where we pretty much were judged by a panel of 4 judges on our ability to effectively run a meeting and perform parliamentary law based on Robert's Rules of Orders. So the FFA Robert's Rules of Orders are slightly different. I noticed on the back of our cards, we say a few things that are different. We don't say nay, we say like that's what a horse says, so that was a little bit different. But like I said, I'm super eager to learn what the parliamentary procedure is here, whether I'm elected or not. I'm just happy to be here, and I would love to serve you next parliamentarians. Thank you very much.
Your time will begin whenever you speak.
It's a friendly reminder, my name is Emily Heaton, and I currently uphold a seat in the Drumlin District. This is my 3rd year in student government and my 3rd time running for Senate leadership. I am someone who is really passionate about a lot of things. My largest passion in life is seeing the success in others. By obtaining and giving the opportunity to fulfill the role as your parliamentarian, we'll work together to succeed in our own individual ways. Me personally, as I'm coming to understand the role of parliamentarian, I realize that it should be a 50-50. 50% outreach, 50% knowing the standing rules and applying them through the outreach and but personally for me, I know it's 80-20. I know 20% of Robert rules. I know at least 80% of how to outreach, how to show others what WSG is and how it can help them in their campus life. And I really want to reflect that, but also change the narrative a little bit so everyone can gain and grasp and learn together that other 50% of the standing rules and Robert's rules, if that makes sense. I think a lot of what people think about parliamentarian is those procedures, which are super true. I think right now a large thing is spreading the word about student government through our outreach. I know as a current senator, I'm not the largest fan of how our outreaches have been done, and I talk about it a lot and tried working and changing them, and it hasn't really worked from sitting as a senator. That's why I'm taking this opportunity today, because I know that with my help and help of you all senators, we can create a solution. I've thought of a lot of different ways, but personally, I believe that if you were to sit at a table, even for 30 minutes, behind a booth that says vote today, someone says, well, why are you standing here behind the table? And you can say, well, I'm a senator of student government, and this is what we do. We help students learn about opportunities on campus. And I think that's one of many solutions and ways we can amplify our voices on campus, gain an extra senator, and then educate them on how we run meetings and why we run meetings the way we do. I think it would be a great way, not only for myself, but for us all to learn together.
Your time will begin whenever you start to speak.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Senator Sean Lieber. I'm an Nebraska senator. My major is public policy and administration. And the reason why I want to be parliamentarian is because I want to change, as the speakers before me have said, change the way that we do our outreach events. I think they could be more open to whatever you basically want, like, you know, sitting at a booth for 30 minutes would count, in my opinion. Just anything that, you know, connects you with the people on this campus, and, you know, you can learn a thing or two from them, or hear, you know, a concern or something. As Senator Thompson said, I think last week, where she asked me, like, would it be okay with, like, going to the Center of Students with Disabilities and having that as your outreach and, like, having administering a test? And I said yes, I would think that would be a good option for you. But I also would have to educate myself on the Robert's Rules of Order, because I'm not really familiar with them. I know a few, but not a full lot, but I'd have to educate myself, and I think that would come with time. So that's the reason why I want to be parliamentarian. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate hearing from you. Now we're going to move into questions. We're going to limit it to 3 questions, given the current number of candidates. Please ensure that all questions are phrased in a manner that you can address them to all of the current candidates. So don't ask, hey, you, this thing. Ask, hello, this question to all candidates. With that, we'll move into questions. Like I said, we've got time for 3. Senator Carter.
Even if you're new, how has your time in the Senate prepared you for this role that you're about to take on, if elected?
I would say my time in the Senate has prepared me for this role is because I understand, as I've stated earlier, that I want to change the outreach events, and I understand from my perspective so far that I think I have a good perspective on how I would change them or open them to. But yeah, I mean, that would be it.
Can you repeat the question?
Even if you're new, how has your time in the Senate prepared you for this role if you were elected?
I believe that my time in the Senate has prepared me for this role because right from the get-go, I took a pretty large understanding and the passion that others around me had, and I found all the ways that I could to involve myself, especially in leadership roles, as much as I could, from sophomore year being a vice chair in 3 committees to now being vice chair, secretary, and a chair of a committee myself. I think it's prepared me because I'm passionate to see the success in others, and specifically this org, because our org impacts all students. So by us succeeding, all students are succeeding. I'd love to continue that success. I'm always someone who's passionate about seeing others through and seeing things through. So while others might know more than me in certain areas, I believe that with my whole heart, I will pour every ounce of myself into this role to make sure to fulfill it to the best of my abilities. And that's why I believe.
Hello, my name is Luke Schraffnagel. I think just attending the meetings, I've only been to like 3, has definitely sharpened my knowledge on what a parliamentarian should be doing. And my experience in the Senate, for example, when we were supposed to address another senator, we're supposed to go through Speaker Wilson first, and I found that was fascinating. And I think that was a really cool idea that like the parliamentarian knows those rules. So my time in the Senate, I've learned and picked up those little things, and I'm eager to learn more, so that I can draw from those experiences why I would be good for this role. Thank you.
So I have 2 main ways that my time in the Senate has helped me kind of prepare for this role. The first one is having a good relationship with a lot of the people in this room. I mean, the parliamentarian is, at the end of the day, supposed to be like an advocate, an educational kind of thing, and you have to have good relationships with the people around you to be able to do that. And unfortunately, if you don't really know someone, it's harder to have that kind of relationship. I would say that the other thing, and this is my outreach experience, is because I've been through outreach events and I've seen other people do them, I know what's a little bit wrong about them. And especially I'm a commuter student, I don't live here. It's much harder for me to do outreach events because I'm not up here kind of all the time and doing things. And I think the first semester that I was in WSG, I had people who used students at their jobs from the outreach event. I was like, I don't work at the university, I don't stay up here all the time. It's hard for me. So I think all of that and kind of seeing that and my frustration with it is kind of what prepared me for this, because I wanted to change ultimately.
Hello again. I'm Nathan Schmidt, if you don't remember. But I think the big thing from being in the Senate for a year and a half I've kind of learned is like the diversity and just like how many different aspects and moving pieces there are. We all come from different aspects of life, and that's great. We bring a lot of different diverse perspectives to it, but also that's why I hammer so hard down on the fact that outreach events need to be flexible, because everyone has different organizations they take part in, everyone has different sports, different jobs, like all these little different factors that I feel in the past weren't fully recognized, that it's like, hey, I have this time constraint or whatever it is, I have to work this day, oh, I'm sorry, I have a club that, you know, someone's week could easily be booked, you know, just with the amount of stuff that we all do and all the diverse like experiences that we have. So realistically, just understanding the diversity of the Senate has kind of prepared me for this, just to like be able to make outreach events as flexible as possible, because I understand, just like everyone else here, you know, when you're working in student orgs and you gotta go to your classes, like it becomes a lot. And in the past, personally for me, achieving some of those outreach events became really hard just because, you know, I leave Thursday to go work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a lot of times it was hard for me to be on campus and get these done. So I think just understanding the diversity of the Senate.
My time in the Senate has really shown the dedication that I'm willing to put into a role like this. For instance, I regularly attend committee meetings that I'm not assigned to. I feel that this is a way of going above and beyond. I believe, was the only senator to assist in the writing of the Rock County student government standing rules and constitution. This is something that is heavy on parliamentary procedure and is something that I've been practicing quite a bit. I've also done quite a bit of reading into Robert's rules. I'm about halfway through reading through them, so we're getting there. But my dedication to the Senate thus far has really prepared me for this role and prepared me to work with everybody around me and take in as many opinions as possible.
Senator Thompson.
So, not to make you guys get at each other's throat, but why do you think you specifically deserve this more than everyone else? What, like, in 1 to 2 sentences, what skills do you have that means you should be parliamentarian?
I think this is a very fair question. I think personally for me, it comes down to just, I have a lot of experiences with life, so I have like a general understanding of a lot of like complex things, I guess. This isn't the best way to word it, but I've definitely like been in the trenches before, multiple times I fear. But the ability to just like, you know, when things need to get done and you need to come back and like resurrect from the ground, like I have that ability to like prioritize it all else, you know. I think for me, like I said, I've had a lot of experience, a lot of things that just like have kind of put me under the radar and like pushed me down, whether it be working, whatever it is. But my ability to just come back and grow even further from those experiences just makes me so much of a strong candidate. Now, I'm not gonna say, I don't know everyone's experiences up here, so I'll make that a very blanket statement. But I just think the ability that like, no matter how hard I get pushed down in the ground, no matter how tough it gets, I will always be here, I will always show up to the Senate meetings, I'll always come back. And I'm willing to also help other people that need that guidance, so.
I would say my experience so far. I know I haven't been the longest running senator up here, but I was, as I mentioned, the only one to assist in the writing of the Rock Constitution and Standing Rules. I know the standing rules and constitution of WSG like the back of my hand. I'm very dedicated. I've put a lot of time into this organization, and I intend to put a lot more time into this organization as parliamentarian as I believe that they should be I believe that my, again, dedication thus far is what really puts me ahead of my compatriots.
I guess what makes me more qualified than the people that are also running for this position would be my willingness to understand that, to humble myself to the fact that I don't know the Robert's Rules of Order, but I will learn, and I also make sure to uphold on my promise that I want to make, the outreach events more open for literally anything you could do would be considered an outreach event. But honestly, just humbling myself with the fact that I don't know the Robert's rules, but I will understand them, or try to make myself understand them. So, yep, that's mine.
Personally, I don't think I'm better than any of these candidates. As we've all been nominated from you as senators of the student government, I believe that we all have characteristics that apply to this role. That's why we were nominated. We were nominated because of who we are and our desire to be on a leadership team, but because we want to be on a leadership team that impacts this university and you all as senators. And I don't think I deserve it higher than anyone else. I do believe that I have a passion for learning, and that could be really critical. It is critical for this position. I've always been someone who likes seeing others succeed, and in order to do that, you have to learn what failure is and what success is. You also have to know that personally. As someone who struggles with comprehension and someone who struggles in school their whole life, learning is a hard topic for me. But when it comes to personal learning relationships, that's where I thrive, and I think I can make a large impact as parliamentarian if given the opportunity, because I can see all of us as individuals, but I can see us all in a diverse group as well, and what challenges we need to overcome to face that. If that's not understanding what a specific motion means, I'll break it down, create new backgrounds on the placards to better explain or elaborate what a motion means, or even a cheat sheet more elaborate in the binders. There's so many ways that we can learn and overcome obstacles together, and that's one of the large reasons why I think I'm fit for the role, but I don't think I'm better than anyone else. I think that.
Hello, my name is Luke Schraffnagel. I believe I'm qualified for this role just based on my past experiences. I served as the chairperson for our public procedure team in the FFA. I served as the parliamentarian officer on our Thorpe FFA chapter. So my job was basically to relate to the members that attended our meeting. If there was any parliamentary law, it was my duty to reflect that on them. Also, it's competing at state, sectional levels, district levels, that helps a lot. But I just want to re-emphasize what my colleague said here. I don't think I deserve this more than anyone else. I'm eager to learn and grow in this position. So thank you.
Yeah, like almost everybody else has said, I don't think that I'm better than anyone at all. I think I'm very well suited for this position, just kind of inherently. I'm a history major, so we read really long texts that don't really make sense a lot of the time. And it's really useful, and the whole thing is you're pretty much trying to break it down into a digestible form for a teacher or someone else to read. And that's essentially what a parliamentarian does. You're just not writing it into a paper, you're putting it into words and telling it to someone. I think that, I think that, and then I'm on SUFAC, which means that I get trainings and I'm viewpoint neutral, and I'm very good at that. And a parliamentarian needs to be neutral. They need to be unbiased, and even if you think that a motion was, or something was done in malice, you need to make sure that that was the case. You need to treat every instance of someone breaking parliamentary procedure like it is an accident, and like they didn't know the proper parliamentary procedure. So I would just say viewpoint neutrality. And
You started right.
Well, thank you very much. That will move into the last question. Deputy Speaker Patrice.
I want to do a little scenario with you all. The speaker interprets a procedural question one way, but your interpretation of Robert's Rules of Order or our governing documents says something different, right? who has final authority? How would you navigate that situation professionally while maintaining credibility and decorum?
Hello, my name is Luke Schroffnagel. So we actually had this situation come up in our FFA chapter. It was part of the competition. Like I said earlier, it's different than your parliamentary procedure here, so maybe you have a different idea of it. But our way of professionally doing this is we call a recess. Someone stands up, normally the parliamentarian requests for a recess, like a 15-minute break, and the parliamentarian, we don't have a speaker of the Senate, it's called the chairperson. They would discuss, or they would mock their discussion to resolve the issue. Whether that's looking at the Robert's Rules of Order or conducting with the advisor that is present, that is how our FFA competition is set up. But first off, I would call for a recess, like a 15-minute break, where those two can discuss in private instead of trying to settle it, waste time in front of everyone. That would be the way I would go for it. Thank you.
I feel like there's a lot of ways one could go about this. I think I would research as it's happening to verify like whether that's in Robert's rules and stuff. But first of all, I would have trust that my speaker knows the procedures as they are the head person, I guess you could say head conductor of the meeting. But if this, scenario is true, I would motion for point personal, something along those lines, I think. And then say what I believe is supposed to happen, but I would also verify that while discussing that and looking at the speaker. I'd also be looking at our advisor to verify, because I know there's been lots of scenarios where someone does correct the speaker or correct someone else, and that might not be 100% true. So I think, though I should be confident, like I just showed, I'm not 100% confident because it's not in my hands right now. But in the meeting, it is something I could have accessible. But I would definitely reach out to our advisor, Jay Logan. I know they are a great source. But I would also overall just trust that it's being done.
During that specific scenario, I would honestly do what Senator Weidman and Schroffnagel would do, is either take a recess and discuss it and look into it, or again, look up in the moment and then try to advise, because again, the parliamentarian's role is specifically advisory to the deputy speaker and speaker, mostly the speaker, and try to advise, of course, Mr. Isaiah, to what could be the right answer, or so-and-so. But yeah, specifically advisory, so technically the speaker, I think, does have final call on what the decision is, so if he agrees or disagrees with me, I really don't have any control over that. So I would just advise him on what is the proper manner of going in, specifically off of Robert's Rules of Order. So that's what I would do.
Easy answer is it would depend. Is it something small where I can just lean over and say, hey, I don't think that this was the proper procedure? Was it something that happened very quickly and we're starting to move on? I can raise my placard, give a point of order, which is the Robert's rules for this was not following the proper procedure. Was it something that was, in my opinion, something that was a larger issue? That might be something that might need a further discussion, a call for recess. Ultimately, it is the say of the chair for how they would like to conduct their meeting, but it would be my responsibility as parliamentarian to inform the chair on the best way based off of our governing documents.
I'll keep this very brief. I would ask Jan. That's the easiest answer for me. I'm not as studied on Robert's Rules of Order as everyone else in the room, especially compared to my fellow candidates. I'll admit that point blank. So objectively, I would just ask Jan because I don't know everything.
So everybody else has made really good points. I think when you have a disagreement about interpretation of rules, I think it's kind of an interesting question considering your first real thing to do would be to go into first the standing rules and see if it's explicitly stated in the standing rules. And then you go into Robert's Rules of Order and you see if it's explicitly stated in Robert's Rules of Order, because anything that isn't in our standing rules defaults to Robert's Rule of Order. And if it isn't explicitly stated, it would be an interpretation thing. And like everybody else has said, the chair gets the final say if it's an interpretation thing. But if what you disagree on is within the standing rules or Robert's Rules of Order, and Robert's Rules of Order is a book that's probably this thick, there's a lot of rules in there. You can probably find it somewhere in there. So I think a lot of it can be solved with just having a good knowledge of both Robert's Rules of Order and standing rules. And if it really is an interpretation issue where it's not explicitly written, then just do your best to work with the speaker and obviously call for a recess so you're not doing it in front of the Senate. And all of that, but you have to discuss with the speaker and basically educate him and say, hey, I don't think you made the proper interpretation on that. And if he says, hey, I think I did, then you kind of have to leave it.
Thank you all. If we could hit the microphone here again. Before you return to your seats, if you could all say your name one last time, clearly into the microphone, as we will be doing a roll call vote. If you could say your name clearly into the microphone. As it goes down and you're done, feel free to return to your seats. I'll give you all a moment to return before we move into a roll call vote. Sound good? Wonderful.
Jordan Purnell, Nathan Schmidt, Lofton Reber,
Luke Schroffnagel,
Emily Wheatson.
Sean Lieber.
Is it true you can vote for yourself if there's no monetary value associated with it?
Wonderful. Thank you all very much. Like I said, I'll give you a minute to return to your seats. And while you do, I'm going to explain a couple things. There is no monetary reward at stake for this position. What that means is you can vote for yourself. You can also pass if you feel like you need some more time. I would also add that abstentions are something we really don't try to do in the body. So don't abstain unless there's monetary gain at play, and there isn't. So with that, back in your seats, everybody looks good. There can only be one parliamentarian, so what that means is you'll say one of the names listed on the screen right there. Can everybody see those names, read them clearly? Wonderful. You'll say one of the names on the screen. You do need a majority of votes to gain the parliamentarianship. So if that isn't reached, we will drop the lowest voted candidates and you vote again. Everybody get it? Wonderful. Madam Clerk, when you're ready, would you please call the roll?
Senator Carter,
Pass.
Senator Janetti,
Rayberg.
Senator Deelick,
Schroffnagel,
Senator Lang,
Reber,
Senator Lieber,
Reberg.
Senator Majors,
Reberg.
Senator Marty,
Purnell.
Senator Monroe,
Reberg.
Senator Patricus,
Pass.
Senator Purnell,
Purnell,
Senator Reberg,
Reberg.
Senator Reyes,
Schmidt,
Senator Schmidt,
Reberg.
Senator Schroffnagel,
Reberg.
Senator Thompson,
Reberg.
Senator Vanderhyde,
Rayberg.
Senator Wheaton,
Wheaton.
Speaker Wilson,
Purnell.
Senator Carter,
Reberg.
Senator Patricus,
Schmidt.
In a vote of 3 1 to 1 to 0 to 11. It is my honor and privilege to congratulate Lofton Reberg as the newest parliamentarian. Congratulations. After you take the oath, please join us right up here next to the Deputy Speaker. And whenever you're ready, join me up front to take the oath. Given you have been elected by the Senate of the Whitewater Student Government to serve as its parliamentarian, understanding that you have been chosen to perform such an active and important role, do you accept the position of parliamentarian and all of the responsibilities, duties, and privileges it will include? If so, say I will to the best of my ability.
Will to the best of my ability.
Wonderful. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Lofton Reberg,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to fulfill the obligations and responsibilities of my office,
to be knowledgeable of
to be knowledgeable of
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
and uphold the WSG Constitution,
the WSG standing rules,
the WSG standing rules,
and university policy,
and university policies,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Wonderful. Congratulations. It is my honor to present you all the newest parliamentarian of the Whitewater Student Government. Alrighty, with that, we're going to move a little bit out of order, and we're going to say a big thank you to Executive Director, University Center, Angela Maldonado. Thank you so much. She's going to be our guest speaker tonight. She's going to be speaking on the University Center. You can join us up at the podium. Thank you for waiting through that election. It means the world.
I don't want to look at myself. Okay, all right, good evening, everyone. I am Angela Maldonian. I am the Executive Director of the University Center Engagement, and I use she, her pronouns. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the University Center, a couple quick overviews of things that have been going on and things that we're working on. So just a friendly reminder here, so we're under the Student Engagement Unit, which is under the Division of Student Affairs. So within the University Center, we have 4 branches: student activity and involvement, building operations, marketing and creative strategies, business and dining services, and then the Pride Center is also part of the student engagement unit. So each year we set different priorities within student affairs and student engagement. So for this year, academic year, under student engagement, our priorities are taking an institutional approach to programming, intentional space design, and student employment. So with that, a few updates that you may have seen around the University Center. So in the DU, phase 1 was complete, which was changing all of the artwork, flooring, paint, upgrades, and then the furniture is coming right now. So the first part of the furniture, the booths aren't ready, won't not be here yet for a couple more weeks, but we're in the process of changing all the furniture over the next 3 days. It's all being actually built down in the lower level and moving in as it gets completed. And then we'll be adding some arcade games as phase 3. Duncan, I'm sure that's the one everyone wants to ask me about, but we are moving forward with Duncan. Construction is slated to start in the spring of 26 with an opening at some point in the fall of 26. And then UC 275 just completed an audio-visual upgrade. So if anyone's been in a meeting room in there has had some issues with the audio and or video, I just got a quick tour. It's awesome. Touch screen panel on the wall. Going to be able to do a lot of cool things in that space as well. Thank you. Meeting rooms. So UC 264 was designated the homecoming room. So the UC advisory board will be voting or discussing what 266 theme should be. Rock Alley, the pin setters are from 1960. We're upgrading to string that has completed the bid process and will be Completing right after spring break, so we will not, the alley itself will not be open during, after Thanksgiving, so the last 2 weeks of school, but will be reopened for spring of '26. Old Main Lane, we're just beginning discussions on how to update that space, so if you don't know where Old Main Lane is, it is down the hallway from the Old Main Ballroom. All right, so what do future upgrades look like? So FY27, we just presented to the NELT group that we were not asking for an increase, but our focus on projects, we're working on a 5-year plan that focuses on accessibility and usability, which is continued AV upgrades and equipment upgrades, really focusing on that inclusivity and accessibility mind frame. Thank you. General updates. So on the UC website, and I can pass that around, this around if that's okay, but this is our UC annual report from FY25, so you can see all the great data. This is also available on our website, so you can take a deeper dive into each of the branches and things that happened last year. Lot of great data. I probably could have wrote, not me, our staff could have wrote about a 200-page assessment, but no one wants to read that, so we shortened it as much as we could. So some really great data. The UC website is being revamped, and that will launch on November 1st. Couple of quick staffing updates. So in the business and dining services, if you know Cindy Cintieri, she is retiring. So she is such a pleasure to have a welcoming face in that office. So she'll be retiring in January. So we'll be working on what does that position look like moving forward to support our operations. In the building operations, the reservation and events manager position is underway in search, so you'll get an email for open invite to attend the open session. And then Caleb Bowles, his last day was last week, so we'll have the building events manager position really dedicated to tech that will be going to search as we develop that PD. All right, so what I'm really here to talk about is the UC Insight Survey. So hopefully most of you remember taking this if you were here last spring. So we had 819 students complete the survey, and our goal is to have this completed every 3 years. So one of the things when you hear about assessment and survey is, well, what do people do with that data? I promise you reread it, so you'll see that here as we go through. All right, so what was collected? So types of questions, categorical questions. So these allow us to filter on different demographics. So for example, it might be what class are you? If we want to know what first year students versus seniors experiencing, we would be able to filter and compare that data. Skill question, how satisfied were you? How was it important to you? Open-ended questions. And then we had the opportunity to ask 20 institutional specific questions where WSG was on there, One Stop, Warnock Pantry, student employment. So some things that are outside of the university center. And again, I have this binder too that I brought with me in case you grow me and I need to find quick access. But we have the ability to run several different reports on what our students are saying about the university center and what their needs are for belonging and engagement, plus many other things. All right, so the results, let's talk a little bit about what we found. So the top 3 reasons students visit the UC, dining was the first response, studying, meeting others, and then events and programs was a close fourth with, I think it was like 31%. So there are 12 different factors that go in, and so then they each have a performance factor, and then a ranking. So you'll see the key at the bottom. I'm sorry, that might be a little bit hard to see because it's low. But each of these 4 factors and how we publicize the union and promote campus, a positive environment, student orientated, and a source of entertainment, we scored good in all those categories. And then we have the ability to benchmark ourselves against all the institutions, and you can see we ranked relatively high in all of those factor categories against 48 other institutions. We also have a select 6 categories, so we can pick 6 institutions that are similar to us in size. So very exciting, awesome work to all the UC staff and the students who continue to be engaged and help us keep moving forward to keep these numbers where they're at, if not improve them. So looking at the next set of factors, you ready to kill time or tell some jokes? Okay, all right. So the next set of factors we're looking at here is college enhances life and leadership. So you'll see there that one marked a little bit lower, but if you also see, we still ranked 5 out of 48. So this is something that's across the nation that students are struggling with. If you heard anything about the climate survey too, it's about how our students interact with other students. So this is a topic we're choosing to focus on over the next, really, as we set our new priorities and goals and engagement in that area, to see where we can help our students be more engaged and increase their view of leadership in campus life. So CAS is an opportunity for assessment, and so this is a nationwide program. So HLC is a higher learning commission, and so every 5 to 10 years, 7 years, it changes all the time, I feel like, when we need to do this. But we need, as student affairs, to be able to show our assessment data, so CAS is one of the ways to do that. So again, we scored high in one of the 5 criteria, or 3 criteria that this assessment helps us. So we're gonna work on making sure those scores improve in 3 years when we take this again. All right, so how are we sharing the data? You'll see it in the annual report. You'll see it on our website now. Jenny has snapshot this for me. You'll see we put some of those key stats right on our new homepage. And Jenny's also going to be creating digital signage to show students that we do read the reports, we do read the assessment, and this is how we're doing and feeling. And then again, how are we using the data? So this summer, the UC staff, we did 3 professional development days. We were broken up into groups of earth, water, wind, and fire. I couldn't find a really good example. And so we started, I have a very lovely spreadsheet that Jan helped me build in collecting data of where our priorities are in different groups and areas. So we have some areas to start with, but really our goal is to align with institutional priorities and lead into our mission with better understanding of types of engagement. I think really, historically, people think, I put on a program and people have to come, right? That's not really what engagement looks like. There's so many other areas and different areas of engagement. So what does that mean? Comparative data, if one group is really succeeding and one group is really failing, why, how do we dive deeper into that? We're identifying strengths and opportunities, and again, how do we take that and turn that into action? So lastly, as we talk a little bit about engagement, one of the things we have done is what are some of those low barrier engagement initiatives? And so I actually, today we are starting, I have gifts for everyone. We are doing this week as an initiative, if you remember the Pop It Forward event where we gave out popcorn and bubbler last year during finals. We have our Pop It Forward for midterms, where we're popping into events where we have these Soothie stickers for you to take and put on your water bottles, you're gonna pop it on your water bottles, pop it on your device. Use it for a time of stress as we approach midterms or everything else that you are dealing with at this point in time. And then we're asking for you to also pass that kindness on, right? So the idea is to pop it forward. So it's kind of, has anybody here had that opportunity to be in a drive-through where someone paid for you or you paid for someone, right? So it's kind of that same idea of how do we keep spreading kindness throughout a very stressful time. So I will pass these around for folks to grab. World Kindness Day is November 13th, so we partnered with Oren on what that looks like for WSG representation. So we're going to be doing events throughout the entire campus of different ways for World Kindness. I can tell you the UC is doing a World Kindness bingo. Most likely the prize will be a bubbler if you get a bingo. So, and then in the Down Under too, as we revamp that space, how do we have some more engagement? So we've added some Packer game watch parties, Monday board games, Tuesday rolling trivia, some additional art workshops, and then again, Thursday with our UC live events, music, TVs, and then our aquarium, which I pictured here. This was a student idea. A student really wanted a real fish tank. Sorry, that's just not happening. So this is the best I can do, but I also heard there was a fireplace one day, right? So we have the ability to change out the space for folks to be interactive with. Okay, so I went really fast with a lot of information, so I will let you all decide how many questions you want to offer.
Alrighty, with that, we are into questions, and I'll start off with one.
Yeah.
If you go back a slide, 2 slides maybe, right there. Turn insights into action.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed is it seems like you collect more data.
Yeah.
Might I say, at other campus departments.
Sure.
And we really appreciate that as students. What does the process of turning those insights, that data, into action look like in practice, and how do you involve students?
Great question. So I have an open door. Most of you see me past 5 o'clock. So anytime someone comes in with an idea, we vet that, we discuss it. We take it to the UC leadership team to say, okay, is this feasible? How can we do this? And then the first step is we take it to the UC Advisory Board, which has representative shared governance across campus, as well as another additional 10 to 12 students that are represented on there. From there, then we take it up to leadership for a next layer of approval. So again, sometimes I'll come here and present that idea to get additional feedback. So really, most of our ideas start somewhere where a student had an idea or a thought, or our data showed us, hey, students are really thinking about it in this way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deputy Speaker Petrutis.
What's the rationale behind the screening flooring?
Yeah, great question. So our equipment currently in Warhawk Alley is from 1960. It has over 40,000 moving parts. We have students that run the alley from open to close. They're fixing machines. So moving to string is a way that the USBC, United States Bowling Congress, is moving towards in slow pace, but a little bit. There are now 7,000 moving parts, so it really was a safety decision as we needed to replace the equipment. We had both bowling teams were involved in the decision. So if anyone's a bowler, the 7 and the 10 pin are the dreaded pins, and so or splits. We can now set the pins for that. So if they want to do practice, so they actually will be more competitive because we'll be able to do that. In regards to recreational bowling, you will not see a difference. So it really was a safety aspect, and then our mechanic who comes in every Wednesday will be retiring soon, so we're gonna lose all of that historical knowledge that he brings and the ability of putting the Band-Aids. He would go to bowling centers that were closing and get old equipment and retrofit them for us at very low cost. So this will be a better long-term maintenance.
As someone who used to work in Warhawk for a very brief period of time, there are so many pieces to those current machines down there, and they are very old. I couldn't be happier to see a new string in down there now. Will soon, hopefully. Senator Marty.
What do you hope to envision for the more engagement with the UC? Because I always try to ask people about around student engagement and things like that. And I've been trying to say, hey, how about you do this? How about you try to do this? And the best way I think to reach it is go to the dorm room with Carrie and then say, how about we try to make a walk to the UC? And then we cross-collaborate with housing to UC, because everything kind of starts all within the house and then moves out for around campus.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I've been tasked with is looking at an institutional approach to programming. This came out of this, okay, Kristen, if you want maybe the chancellor's
Student advisory.
Thank you. You get that wrong every time. Came out of there, the question was, there's so much programming on this campus, right? And so how do we streamline that instead of having 3 bingos in 1 week or 2 weeks? How do we maybe come together and collaborate with that? I think students are overwhelmed, so how do we just kind of mainstream that so it's not, I don't have to make these choices, right? And I think engagement too is why we're trying to do these pop-it forts. How are we going to where students are at instead of asking everyone to come to us all the time, right? One of the pools of people we're trying to think about too is how do we reach our online students to be engaged with campus, right? And that's not, none of this is an easy task, because if anyone had the $1 million answer, please come see me, I would love to know. So, a lot of this is just continued discussion and collecting the data and looking for trends of what's happening across other campuses and universities. But as you can see from our data, we're trendsetters. Being #1 out of 48 institutions that did this, I think we're leading the pack in a lot of different ways. And again, it's just a huge shout out to all the UC staff and student employees, because they're the heart and soul of everything that makes our operations here run. And so we just work really hard at making sure that they're successful so that, again, our students can be successful.
You go back to the desk. Any other questions? You just want it up, or do you have questions? Okay. Well, wonderful. Any other questions? Going once, going twice? Seeing none? Seeing.
I kind of have a slight idea or way to improve student engagement.
If you could keep it to questions, please.
You know what? I'll talk to you after.
All right.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. Any other questions? Deputy Speaker Petrutis.
I was gonna say, Oren has access to all this data too, so we can work to do some filters and things if there's additional follow-up that's needed.
Can we revisit the aquarium?
No, I'm not. Is that where everyone wants their students out? How many, do you know how much it takes to clean a fish tank? And, yeah, no.
Any other questions?
No.
Going once, going twice? See none, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the great work you do. Some of us, and by some of us I mean lots of us, spend lots and lots of hours in this building. We make it more and more of a home each and every day.
More to come, more to come.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to move back into order, back into special orders, and on to item C, the appointment of one Drumlin District seat. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for a Drumlin District seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, with that, we're going to move on to item D, the appointment of 4 off-campus district seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for an off-campus district seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, with that, we'll move into the appointment of 2 Rock County district seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for a Rock County district seat? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none, with that, we'll move into the appointment of 2 at-large district seats. Is there anyone in the gallery tonight interested in running for an at-large district seat? Wonderful. If you could, make your way back around to our wonderful and honorable President Bradley. You can have your names checked for spelling correctly. It's going to be with you both tonight. You'll get 3 minutes to tell us a little bit about why you want to be the next at-large senator or Whitewater student governor. Make sure you say your name, your major, and whatever else you'd like to add. Your time will begin when you begin to speak.
Hi, I'm Zanaya Richardson. I'm a freshman at UW-Whitewater, and I have a major in finance with a minor in business law and mathematics. I'm interested in running for a student senate seat to get involved in the community and further learn about the opportunities here at Whitewater. Just sitting in on the meetings for the past couple of weeks, I've learned a lot of information that I think would help a lot of students as well as myself. Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity.
Your time will begin when you begin to speak.
Hey everybody, my name is Tim Punzel. I'm a sophomore here on campus. I'm in criminology with a minor in psychology. So why I would like to be an at-large senator? The WSG is by far the most important organization on this campus. You all are the lifeblood of this campus. Without anybody here, the students have no voice. I'm here because I wish to help those students that do not have a voice maintain their voice or find their voice.
Thank you very much. With that, we'll move into questions. We'll do 3 questions tonight. Any questions? Senator Reyes.
What positions have you held previously?
Positions I've held previously, are we talking about in terms of Whitewater student government or any in general?
I mean like any in general.
So I served 8 years in the United States Army. Some of the positions I held were squad leader. There are opportunities for single service members representative for the entirety of Fort Meade, Maryland. I was a motor sergeant. I was a scheduled services non-commissioned officer in charge, so I was in charge of making sure all the vehicles had their 30, 60, 90,000 mile road tests done, all their services done, make sure they don't break down on the side of the road. I'm also currently the vice president of the Student Veteran Alliance here on campus. And to add even more, I was a member of the Whitewater student government at one point.
Yeah, I worked a lot throughout high school. So I did an HR internship, and that was pretty helpful in just getting acquainted with the office environment and the workplace environment, I guess. And it taught me a lot about professionalism. And then I also held a series of sales positions throughout like retail stores and just like restaurants. And that helped me with talking to people, getting outside my comfort zone.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Parliamentary rebirth.
Using a tool in the toolbox, what tool can be?
Okay, I have answered this question before. I set a flashlight because it helps see the bigger picture. I'm a problem solver, and in order to do that, yeah, you have to see the whole picture, the whole entire perspective.
I knew this question was going to come eventually. So, I would actually not be a tool in toolbox. Instead, I'd be the carpenter, the masonry specialist, the electrician, the one who holds the toolbox, because at the end of the day, in shared governance, we all have our individual tools, and us as members of the government need to understand that you should never limit yourself to just one tool. Any tool has the opportunity to do many things. Limiting yourself to just one is not a good idea.
And into the last question, we'll go with Senator Carter.
In WSG, where we all have different backgrounds, so how do you handle someone with different opinions, or how do you handle with conflict and that in your time if you were elected?
So how I handle conflict is I usually like to hear both sides of the story before making any decisions, because there is always three sides to the story. One side, the other side, and the truth. Without both sides, you will never have the whole story. So it's important to listen to everybody no matter what their side is.
I think this is an organization full of wonderful people. I think that everybody here has valuable insight, and through any conflict, I feel like there would be valuable points from both sides that we could all learn from. So yeah, I think everybody brings their own individual strengths that we should look at and focus on and try to make the most of. And then I think once we do solve conflict, it instills a kind of perseverance, and we're able to move on from issues. And when those issues arise again, we know we're able to get over them.
Wonderful. With that, if you could say your name into the microphone one more time.
Zanaya Richardson.
Hayden Hansel. All right, wonderful. You can return to your seats, and with that, we'll move into a secret ballot vote. Because there are 2 open at-large seats, you can write down one name, you can write down 2 names, you can write down I as a vote for both candidates, you can write down nay as a vote for 0 candidates.
Bless you.
All right, wonderful. In a vote of in a vote of 5 to 12, candidate Punzel will not be appointed, and in a vote of 15 to 2, Senator Richardson has been appointed. Please come talk with me after the meeting. Thank you very much. With that, we will continue onward into and through guest speaker, as we've completed it already, and into the approval of the agenda and minutes, starting with the minutes from October 6th, 2025. Senator, the motion to approve. Senator Lund. Motion to approve. Seconded by Senator Thompson. Can I get a voice vote? Any opposed? Going once, going twice. See, with that, the minutes from October 6th, 2025 have been approved unanimously. With that, we're on the agenda for October 13th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve? Senator Majors.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Seconded by Senator Bueller. With that, can I get a voice vote?
Acclamation.
Any opposed? Once, twice. Seeing none, with that, the agenda for October 13th, 2025 has been approved unanimously. With that, we're on student issues and concerns. Are there any student issues and concerns in the gallery? Going once. Is that a placard?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. If you'd like, you can come join us at the podium. And if any of you have forgotten, this is the since recognized Director of Student Affairs Emeritus, Jordan Robinson.
Sorry. Always. I can put this back. No, I don't really have much of a student issue or concern. Isaiah asked me a while ago to come back and say a couple words. I just kind of popped up. The one thing I'll touch on, I guess I'll leave you with really briefly, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, is so now I was in student government from the time I was a sophomore. There are some familiar faces, there's some new faces. Love to see the organization continue to go forward. So I started off as a senator, came in, Doug and Isaiah were sitting in that corner, being Doug and Isaiah. And then I gave a speech, Patrice was still here. Yep, it was an interesting time around that time. But I came into WSG, I knew nothing about student government, knew nothing about policy or anything of the sort. And then actually, so that spring, after my first semester, I ran for Associate Director of Student Affairs, got the opportunity to work alongside Doug. We did some great work. We did some really good things that I think the organization is still benefiting from today and that are still moving forward. And then not only did I do some great things, I got to work with some amazing people, Abby Reiser, Izzo, Jack Fadness, Isaiah Wilson. I mean, the list goes on, right? I got to work with some amazing people. And then Advisor Billman. And then as some people, I mean, as Jana say, like I'm an old fart now, so I'll just tell you a little bit about where I'm at now, and then I'll tie it all together. I currently work at Marquette University in the educational opportunity programs and pre-college division. So what I do is I work with first gen and low income students, and I help them see college as a reality. I actually be bringing a group of students to campus on Friday to tour WSG-Whitewater, so I'm pretty excited about that. What I will say to you is value these moments because they go faster than you think. I think the one thing that I took for granted was how fast that it'll all end, how fast it would all be over. In the midst of it, the late nights, the early mornings, the long meetings, the meetings you can do without, the meetings that are actually impactful, they all matter. I would say that there's not a challenge in my professional career that I've been faced with that I haven't been prepared with because of WSG. From policy all the way down to understanding a budget, all the way down to understanding how to deal with people who you may agree with or disagree with, everything has come full circle for me and has been something that's been beneficial in my professional career. I would also say outside of the work is amazing. The work is really, really important. The work is why you're here, but value those friendships. The friendships, the relationships that you build, they'll last a lifetime. I get the opportunity to have to text Kristen and say, hey, how you doing? Because of the relationship that I built with Kristen when I started. Being able to reach out to Jen and say, hey Jen, I need a favor. Can I bring 50 kids to Whitewater on a Friday? Can you make that happen? It's something that'll last a lifetime. Like I can text Doug and say, hey, did you watch the Packer game last night? We sucked. Or we played really well, right? So being able to maintain those relationships, they'll pursue, but the work doesn't stop in this space. Once you're an alumni, once you get the opportunity to come back, all of this matters because it's about building the experience, not just for yourself, but the next future world. That's all I got. And I'll take like 2 questions if anybody got questions.
Two questions. Yeah, we endlessly appreciate you coming to do this. Really.
Anytime.
Student issues and concerns has since ended, and now we are into an emeritus member taking his right to speak to the body as has been elected, bestowed upon him. I don't know how that works. Senator Martin.
How do you become an emeritus member?
You did what?
I didn't mean to laugh. I mean, I would say anybody who knew me and knew me during my work, I mean, I was probably passionate to a fault. So it was never about the title. It was never about being emeritus. That was just honestly the fruits of the work that I put in. So what I would say to anybody is do the work. Do the work. Do the work for the right reasons. Do the work with your heart in the right space. Do the work with the right intentions. Do the work because it's something that you care about. And then everything else will take care of itself. Like I never thought that I would be a emeritus member. I just loved what I did. I loved advocating for people who couldn't advocate for themselves. I loved putting in the work. I was the first person into the office, the last person to leave because I loved what I did. And me loving what I did resulted in that fruit. It wasn't a title I went after. It was a fruit of the work that I did. So I would say just do the work. Everything else will take care of itself. People will recognize the real.
Well, thank you very much. Director Emeritus, Jordan Robinson. Anytime you want to come speak, you got the platform. With that, we're going to move on to reports, starting with external committee reports, of which we have none. We're on to internal committee reports, starting with budget report, which is me. I'm passing the gavel today. I'm now realizing it's been years since I've given an internal committee report. So it's good to be up here with you all. Fingers off the stand. So, Budget Committee was called by our Honorable President, Douglas Allen Bradley, who, as according to the standing rules, chairs the budget committee. There we go. Who chairs the budget committee. So he called, we met on Friday. We met for just over 2 hours. We met from about 4 to a little past 6 o'clock. Senator Jordan Purnell was very quickly appointed to the committee and then elected vice chair. I was appointed by the chair to be secretary. Thank you very much. So, we were called by the president to talk about the budget that will soon be submitted to SUFAC. So every student door goes through, they create a budget, they submit it to SUFAC. The way our organization does that is the president creates that budget. This year, I may be wrong, but I don't believe the budget committee has met in 2 years. It's been 2 years since the budget committee was called, so the president took it upon himself this year to call the budget committee and ask for a little bit of Senate side assistance in creating that budget. So we went more or less for 2 hours into some past budgets, looked at what those were laid out as, and then into the current budget for the year, maybe some of the shortcomings there, some of the best parts about that budget, and then we moved into assisting President Bradley in the drafting of this new budget. So we went more or less line item by line item and gave suggestions on each of those things, and it resulted in almost a complete new budget. Doug Bradley is doing continual work in progressing that forward before he presents it to SUFAC in a very particular way. But soon enough here, he'll have a budget he can bring to us for, I believe, what he's called a once-over before he actually sends it off to SUFAC. So that's Budget Committee. Mr. Chair, I yield any questions.
I want to thank Secretary Wilson for that report. Do you have any questions for Budget Committee? Seeing one. Are they ready?
When you mentioned that WSG as a body would eventually see this budget, when do we have a timeline on when we would be presented that?
My understanding, I can yield to President Bradley, but my understanding is that it will be before, just before it's submitted to SUFAC. Is that correct, President Bradley?
Yeah, I can bring it to you all next week, looking for just not for a vote or anything, but just to get it before you know what's going to be submitted.
I believe we have a SUFAC chair in the room. Do you know when the deadline for that is?
The deadline for submission is November 2nd at 11 p.m.
Okay. So it's at least safe to say before November 2nd, this body will get eyes on it. Any other questions? I guess that's not my job right now.
Any questions? I mean, it was the process. Seeing no further questions, thank you, Mr. Secretary. We are to the report of the Communications Committee.
Alright, so we met today before this meeting and we increased our platform on TikTok by creating 2 more TikToks about WSG. We got some help from Oren, which thank you very much. And that's about all. And Nick Patricius, thank you. Any questions?
Who's going to help edit the communications on the WSG website? Well, I went onto the WSG.com and I saw that the website needs to have some more portals or could be a little bit better.
If you have any questions about the website, I direct you to the clerk.
Okay.
She oversees that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was communications.
Any further questions? Seeing none. Thank you,
Sorry.
Senator Thompson.
Sorry.
We're going to report of the Constitutional and Vision Committee. Director Smith.
I'm sorry. WSG. Thanks.
Put it down for Isaiah.
those who don't know, the Constitutional Revision Committee is an internal committee that exists to fill a couple standing rules related obligations. So when people want to make adjustments to the standing rules or constitution, the CRC meets, reviews them, considers pros and cons, and then creates a statement about what they believe the organizational impact of that piece is. Additionally, there are requirements that the standing rules be reviewed, different sections be reviewed 2 years after implementation by the committee. So those are some of the things we'll be working on coming up. At this last meeting, we elected the chair, and I was elected as chair. Deputy Speaker Patricius was elected as the vice chair, and then Senator Carter was elected as the secretary. We had 3 pieces regarding the standing rules on the agenda, but we did not have enough time to review the materials. So we tabled them for a meeting this week, 8 a.m. on Thursday, so that there's time to review the materials prior to deliberations. I yield to questions.
Any questions? Seeing none, we're on to the elections engagement. Actually, we're gonna do something fun real quick. We're gonna go out of order into the Internal Evaluations Committee. I'm gonna pass the gavel to Parliamentarian Reader. Do a little something fun tonight. As Deputy Speaker, my report is just what I'm going to give if you want to follow along with me. But as Deputy Speaker of the Senate, I chair the Internal Evaluations Committee, the IEC. We scheduled 2 hearings over the last 2 weeks, both of which were canceled. The individuals in question chose to resign from the Senate prior to their hearings. I want to emphasize that being reported to IEC is not and should never be seen as some kind of death sentence. The IEC is a body designed to uphold standards of accountability through due process. It does not hold plenary authority or take direct action, but merely makes recommendations to the Senate based on the information provided and statements of report submitters, subjects of reports, and witnesses. Resigning in advance of a hearing denies not only the committee the opportunity to evaluate the concerns raised, but also undermines the due process owed to both the respondent and the person who submitted the report. If you have any questions, I will yield the questions now.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Patricius. Does anybody have any questions?
So did the hearing not take place at all?
So IEC only has jurisdiction over members of the body, WSG, both the Senate and the Executive Board. So if seeing as we no longer had jurisdiction, in both cases, both reports were moved and we could not hear any concerns. If you don't know what that word is, look it up on the legal term.
Is there any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you. Next, we'll move into the committee report for student affairs, and we'll pass the gavel to Isaiah. You went out of order. Oh, out of order.
It's been a while since I've been up here. Holy cow. Hello, everyone. The Student Affairs Committee met last Thursday, and I meant Tuesday, sorry. And I'm thinking of CRC, I don't know why. And here are the updates for you. First off, next week is homecoming. Homecoming preparations are underway with a sign-up deadline of Wednesday, sorry. Wow, I'm bad at dates. For events such as musical chairs, bed cart races, and the balloon relay. Warren is assisting with Cruisin' for a Bruisin', and members should block off Sunday, October 19th for talent show auditions. So if you want to be a part of that, see Assistant Director Kelleher. The week will include a study night on Monday night,
games, including the bag cart races, bingo on Wednesday night, a talent show on Thursday, spirit rally with tug of war and hot chocolate on Friday, and then we conclude with the parade and the football game versus UW-Platteville to get our acts back. Associate Director Keller's updates: commuter parking, Prince Street lot remains open, but underused due to distance. More students need vehicles for work. The Children's Center lost grant funding impacting student parent support. Solutions are being explored. Athletics, the wellness spaces are being improved and looking to emphasize on team collaboration. And then Director Smith's updates: Title IX, interim director began training. Reports are, I don't know what that means there, but okay. Bystander intervention training scheduled for October 27th at the Senate meeting. And then the University Police Crossing Guard program ended. Campus security video upgrades ongoing. And then a spring first aid and safety training plan. And then some student issues and concerns, long walking distance, and that, and staff are frustrated. Some staff are frustrated for parking. Lack of utensils and limited food after 6:15 at the dining halls. And the committee plans to work with Director Wunderman and the PR committee to promote the text-to-chat feature for dining. And then the elevator issues remains with co-fair meetings for the academic buildings, and we are looking to promote voter registration. The committee continues to address student needs, enhance communication across departments, and support engagement. And we will meet tomorrow at 8 a.m. in UC 127. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Any questions? Senator Carter, going once, going twice. Seeing none, with that, we're going to go back into order for election engagement.
Hello everyone, elections engagement met earlier today, I think, yes. We didn't have any new we did have some new business, such as setting event priorities. We are looking for collaboration with Warhawks Vote, specifically with their social media pages. We're kind of looking at probably running that for them, give or take a few things. And then there's tabling happening the next 3 weeks. So if anyone is open and wants to do that, please see Chairwoman Wheaton, and we will get you signed up for a slot that works for you. And then additionally, we're looking to get some information out in the Royal Purple on social media, and then on posters around the UC and various spots on campus. With that, I will yield to questions.
Any questions? Once, twice. Seeing none, with that, our officer report, starting with the report of our honorable student body president. That's right.
Good evening, everyone. I encourage you to read kind of some of the things I did last week. This week, we had the communications committee that I jumped in right at the end. Elections engagement committee also met today. I have communications on here twice, my apologies. NALT deliberations begin tomorrow, so that will be fun. So if you're looking for any of the students who are on NALT tomorrow, might have to give us a little nudge on Wednesday because we will be busy and meetings all afternoon. I also meet with Brenda Jones in a one-on-one. The elections committee will meet on Wednesday. We have cabinet. The constitutional revisions committee will meet. I have a surgeon screen meeting for the provost / vice chancellor of academic affairs. There's also more NALT deliberations on Thursday. And I have a one-on-one meeting with Gabby Drale at the end of the week. Also this weekend, a few of us, Dr. Reiser and Speaker Wilson and I, will be heading up to Madison for an event at President Jay Rothman's house with some leadership from the universities of Wisconsin. That's my report, and should it please the chair like to move right into the vice president report as he's handling the business out in the hall. So I'm just gonna read his beautiful handwriting, by the way. He's right, but he is a lefty. So I'm just gonna go right down. He says, need a binder / placard? See me after. You can come see us after if he's not back. He has cabinet this week, no deliberations. He has one-on-ones with Directors Gross, Kelleher, and Linneman. He has a reminder here that Boxes and Bridges is coming up. The brief description he wrote, interactive diversity experience that opens up doors of different perspectives of our student body. That's Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. He then has 6 p.m. on Wednesday, highlighted, starred, underlined. So perhaps he's doing something. Oh, is that when yours is? Sounds like Speaker Wilson will be presenting 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And then the big thing that he wants me to share is WSG and Lit Jitters Takeover is November 5th at 8 p.m. November 5th, my mother's birthday at 8 p.m. And with that, I will yield the questions for both of us, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you have for the Vice President.
Any questions for President Bradley and like ex officio Vice President?
President.
Senator Lane.
Point of clarification, if anybody has questions about the lead collab, please come find me.
Was that a question? I said point of clarification. Any questions going once, going twice, seeing none? With that, we'll move on to the report of our advisor, our honorable WSG advisor. Okay, well, we'll move out of order. With that, we'll move into e-board reports, starting with the report of Abby Rides, our Director of Academic.
Hi everyone. So I also encourage you to read what I did last week. One of the major highlights, there was a STELIC meeting that I was at, and so the AAC is holding workshops. So if any of you or any friends have any questions about STELIC, then there are 3 workshops. So October 22nd, October 28th, and November 4th. And if you want the times or more details, then please come see me after the meeting, and I'm happy to provide that. As for this week, so I also will be at the Provost Search and Screen meeting with President Bradley, SUFAC, NOLT, and then Olivia and I had a discussion with Eric Luck regarding some future projects, and then continuing to work on the communication audit for advising. And then one last note, so there is the Curriculum Innovation Workshop, which has been something that the university has put on for the past couple of years. And this year, the focus is on pathways into higher education. So it'll explore the college classes that many high schoolers are taking, and I'm sure several of you used to take AP classes or dual enrollment courses. So there'll be conversation centered on that. Last year, it was on AI, so that was a fun conversation. So if you're interested in going, it is on October 31st, which is Halloween. It's from 8:30 to 2. And the deadline to RSVP is October 20th, so next week. If you want that link, then please see me after for that as well. And with that, I yield to any questions.
Any questions, Senator Martin?
Where will it be located?
Yeah, so it'll be here in the UC.
Is it true that the One Stop is also hosting a course registration preparation presentation this Wednesday?
Yes.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none. With that, we'll move back into officer reports. With the report of our WSG advisor, Jan Bilgate. No? I saw Jan for a second. Jan? Okay, with that, we'll move into e-board reports, starting with Director of Student Affairs, or Smith.
Hey y'all, again, I encourage you to read what I did last week, what I'm up to this week. My biggest things are a reminder to complete the Healthy Minds survey that's in your email. It's an individualized link, so you need to click the link that's in your email. And then please complete the campus safety survey that you would have received from me in a Connect to email. We're hoping to do a campus-wide email push for that soon, but I went to all of our contacts, which should be all of you. My student affairs fact for this week is about Mantra Health. If you go to mantrahealth.com, you can access a tool available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that is free to all students. It's an online entry point to wellness clinical services. It's available on time, anytime. Peer-to-peer support, self-care, emotional wellness coaching, productivity coaching, crisis care, confidential counseling, and psychiatry. So all these things you can access for free by looking at your net ID. And then because Director Kelleher had to go to the homecoming meeting, I'm just going to pass this around. As Senator Carter shared earlier, we are looking for volunteers to help with homecoming events. So please fill this out with your name and what you can help with. With that, I will yield to questions.
Wonderful. Any questions on once? Voice seeing none, with that, we'll move to the report of our Director of Communications, Paige Lemon.
Thank you.
Good evening, y'all. So last week I met with Clerk West, posted a few Instagram posts regarding voting and tabling, had my committee collaborate and make their own TikToks, which I'm excited to post soon. Worked on Senator election posts, and then this week I'll be having one-on-one with Vice President Bain, making more TikToks with my committee, which we made 2 today, which one of them will be up by tomorrow, so look out for that on the TikTok page. And I'll be creating more posts for the Senator election. And with that, I yield to any questions.
Any questions for Director Lemon? Going once, going twice, seeing none, with that, we will move on to the report of our WSG clerk.
Hey y'all, first off, if you gave a committee report, please send me a little,
Please send me a, just like what you said, little paragraph format. I've gotten it from one person. So it's the same way as if you were sending me your external committee report. So makes my job a lot easier. I can just copy and paste it into the minutes. Last week the election packets were due. I began the validation process. This week, I'm going to be meeting with Kim Clarkson to make the ballot on Friday. But we are having the elections committee on Wednesday during normal cabinet time. So due to having quorum issues, as we need 6 voting members present to, sorry, I got distracted. We need 6 voting members present to actually do anything. We weren't going to make that during the violation hearing and ballot counting time on our calendar. So Speaker Wilson appointed the homecoming intern Maddie Rosquist and Greek intern Ava Hernandez to the committee. And then the agenda was already sent out. If you want to take a look at it, you can. We'll be establishing the day and time of the violation ballot counting hearing, as well as discussing what will be accepted as a valid signature in the election packet, discussing what will be accepted as a valid write-in on the ballot, and reviewing the calendar, section 11, as well as the validation process and ballot. And then just due to it being during normal cabinet time and needing to have cabinet after, and sometimes cabinet can take a little while, I don't want to keep the e-board members there all night. That feels kind of mean. So we're going to, anyone's welcome to attend the committee meeting, but if you're not a member of the committee, there's going to be a higher chance you're not called on if you have a question or comment. And so if you end up thinking of something, you can make a meeting with me at some other time, email me it, or whatever else. And I'll be reaching out to everyone who submitted an election packet to me sometime after the committee meets to let you know whether or not you will be on the ballot. And as always, I encourage you to review section 11. Remind yourself of what would count as a violation and no election talk in the office. Thank you.
Any questions for our clerk? I have one. So, what I've heard is that you're going to meet to assess what signatures that have been collected can be verified. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
What would happen if, say, I collected 50 signatures and 2 of them can't be accepted? Or maybe that's what you're meaning to figure out this week.
I guess we would be needing to figure that out, just because typically you would not then be on the ballot. But I never make a decision without the elections committee. Elections committee makes the decision, I show them the problem, and yeah, so it's a group decision.
I'd also add, as vice chair of that committee, if if the committee decides that you don't have 50 valid signatures, you can always run as a write-in candidate. So you could still win a seat by having folks on campus write your name in. Okay, so you don't have to be on the ballot to win a seat. You could run a write-in campaign, which I believe our speaker has done a few times.
Another question. Is it true that the name Isaiah Wilson has never been on the WSG ballot?
I believe so.
100%. It's true. Spoiler alert, it's true. So you can assuredly still win a Senate seat if your name is not on the ballot. With that, we will move on to the report of our no longer vacant Senate parliamentarian, Austin Reber.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for electing me as parliamentarian. I really appreciate it. And I kind of wanted to just tell you guys what I'm going to start on doing. I would like to tell everyone what I would like to start doing. Like I said in my speech, I would like to make outreach a lot more relaxed and kind of what everybody wants to do rather than making it feel forced and needed to. You should enjoy your outreach as well. I have a few ideas. Tabling obviously was mentioned numerous times. If you wanted to do the traditional outreach, you can still do it. Blake's Magic Show, still absolutely on the table. And then getting someone to take a Senate seat, also on the table. I'm really kind of up for anything. So if you decide, everybody has ideas, and I would be willing to take them. I'll kind of just be beginning.
Any questions? Senator Lay?
Will you still count the lit collab as an outreach event?
Put that in the words, please.
Oh, yes, I will.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none. With that, we're going to move on to the report of our Deputy Speaker of the Senate, Patrice.
My written report is just the IEC report I gave. If you have any questions about that, please email me. And on this Indigenous Peoples Day, I would just like to do a quote from our illustrious speaker 1 year ago today. Happy Columbus Day, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, today is Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Make sure to celebrate. Thank you all. Please have a question.
Any questions for Deputy Speaker Patrice?
Objection. You have to understand the history behind Christopher Columbus and why it was changed into Columbus Day, into Indigenous Peoples Day.
That would be a point of personal privilege.
Okay, point of personal privilege.
Wonderful. Any other questions? Going once, going twice, seeing none. That will move on to my report.
That is in public record somewhere out there on a YouTube video.
So with that, we'll move to my report. Feel free to take a look at my written report, but I wanted to touch on just a few of the most important things. Arguably the most important thing. Very top line. Director Andrew, happy Indigenous Peoples Day! There we go. This week, I am meeting with Senate leadership. Senate leadership is going to get together, meet, and as the personnel of Senate leadership, or as the Senate office, as the makeup of your Senate officers have changed, we will meet together to kind of set some goals, some priorities, begin to acclimate, if you will. I'm going to be busy with NALT stuff this week, as President Bradley mentioned. I'm still kind of working through committee assignments. Everybody has internal committee assignments. Everybody has external committee assignments. Some of you don't have all of your internal committee assignments. If you were just appointed, you don't have all of your committee assignments. There are a few capacity issues beginning to arise, and I want to ensure that quorum isn't reached at any of these committee meetings. So that's why some people are still at 1. It's likely that because we had lower membership at the beginning of the year, some of y'all are on like 5 internal committees.
Some of you are on one internal committees. If you don't hold a leadership position in one of those committees, you may have to be removed from one of those committees as to ensure that we don't reach quorum and so that everyone can get 2 internal committee assignments. Everyone following? So the reason I did not continue to edit the spreadsheet is because I didn't want to assign quorum to a committee. That would be bad. So here's how we'll proceed. If you check the official roster document and you have 1 next to your name for internal committees, come chat with me. Everyone, before you go to sleep tonight, take a look at that internal committees document and see if your committees have changed. I have mentioned to at least one of you already, like I had to take someone off a committee, put them on a new committee, and add somebody to the committee that they were on, so that we didn't mess with quorum and whatnot. So that could be happening to you. My ideal process is that I'm going to finish all of that and then send an email with that new information if you moved. But if you want to stay as up to date as possible and not go to a place that you don't have to be, you should take a look at that spreadsheet. Getting nods, did all that make sense? If that didn't make sense, I'm totally good with questions. And you don't want to move right into questions, because everything else is just meetings. So, questions, Sarah Martin? Senator Martin?
Oh, yes, will it be on will the committee assignments be an email or is it on the WSG website?
It's in a shared drive under WSG official roster. Current WSG roster is in the spreadsheet.
How do you get the spreadsheet? Is it on?
It's being shared with you momentarily.
Okay,
So anything for those of you who might be a little newer, if you're not on or have access to anything, just come let us know. We'll make sure it gets shared with you. Senator Carter.
Will Senate Leadership Committee be meeting this year? This semester? Sorry.
If needed, my knee-jerk reaction is to say no. If the membership of that committee felt it's necessary is to call that committee, sure. Any other questions? Going once? Going for those of you that don't know, Senate Leadership Committee is different than what is sometimes casually referred to as Senate Leadership or your Senate officers. Your Senate officers, that's myself, Mike Petrikis, and now Lofton Reber. The Senate Leadership Committee is those 3 individuals plus the vice chairs of the Student Affairs Committee and the Academic Affairs Committee, which I believe currently is Senator Schwaffenau and Senator Carter. Correct? Wonderful. So those are the distinctions in case anyone was curious. With that, we're going to move into officer reports. Oh, I'm sorry, Director Smith.
Is it true that if you've been newly appointed to a committee, you should reach out to the chair of that committee?
Yes. Yes. That goes for external committees and internal committees. Deputy Speaker Patrice?
Is it true that if you have access or trouble accessing the current WSG roster, you should reach out to the deputy speaker?
That is true. He owns the document and maintains it with great precision that I know. With that, we will move back into officer reports and to the officer report of our WSG advisor, Jane Dillon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, inhaling food. Sorry I needed to take a phone call, so I'm so sorry I wasn't there when you called me for my report. First, congratulations to our new parliamentarian. Happy to meet with you whenever it's convenient if I can get some help. And I'm not sure if anybody answered the question, but our rules supersede parliamentary Robert's Rules of Order only if it's not covered in our governing documents. So we're both can learn some stuff, and now we have the answer to that, and I think all of the candidates' answers were great tonight. A couple quick things. Project Assist, which is an organization that helps our folks that use CSD, is looking for volunteers. And there was an email that was sent out to all of you, so you should have gotten that. So if you're interested in helping with that, that would be fabulous. I also would encourage any of you, I'm sorry I didn't hear Director Smith's report this evening, but Boxes and Bridges is an activity that is happening and sponsored by University Housing. If you're looking to expand some of your knowledge about inclusivity or about learning about the experience of other students, I would encourage you to go. And there was one more thing that I can't read in my notes. Just so you know, I'm off campus tomorrow as well, working remote, but you of course can reach me via WebEx or my cell phone. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I will yield to questions.
Any questions for Advisor? President Brett.
Is it true that if somebody were to need to get a hold of you, Advisor Billigan, that any member, any Senate officer, any member of the e-board can easily get in contact with you?
Absolutely.
You should go to them? Yeah.
Yes. Or if the desk is open at student activities and involvement, they can contact me as well for you.
Wonderful. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Seeing none. With that, we're on unfinished business, of which we have none. So we're on new business, of which we have none. So we're on to announcements, of which I have one. As I think Vice President Van was going to allude to, I'm speaking at Boxes and Bridges a few times this week. One of which is from 8 to 9 o'clock tomorrow. Another of which is from 6 to 7 on Thursday, and from 7 to 8 on Thursday. So, feel free. Maybe they're full. Are they sold out?
If you go on to Connect 2, it tells you where the openings are.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Director Arthur. What? Am I?
Academic Affairs Committee, please come see me after this meeting. Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
On Friday, Alpha Gamma Delta is hosting Frozen Pancakes. This is an event that I'm in charge of and I've been working on for a while. So I'd really love to see some of your faces there. It's from 5:30 to 7:30. And you could get some pancakes before going to the football game. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me.
Senator Carter. Director Smith.
If you have newly been appointed to my committee, please come see me. Otherwise, I don't remember what it was.
Deputy Speaker Patrice.
You all should have access to a shared drive. It is WSG Senate 25-26. If you do not have access to that, please come see me or email my deputy. That's where all the committee assignments are. There's also a bunch of really cool, useful resources in there for you that you should explore.
Senator Reed.
If you are looking for volunteer hours or just a way to keep busy, especially this week, we're looking for help to table for Warhawks Vote, getting students registered for voting. It'll really help with efforts in the near future for state elections. So I would really appreciate the help. You can come find me after the meeting and I can get you signed up.
Senator Ryan.
If anybody is interested in doing a homecoming talent show, I believe we are looking to have a practice at some point this week before audition Sunday. 2 practices. Okay. Look for an email from Director Kelleher for that, or Director Smith. Keller.
Senator Weaver.
Just a point of clarification. Did you say frozen pancakes were at the?
It's called Pearls and Pancakes.
Frozen pancakes?
For real?
Thank you.
President Kelly.
If you need a binder or placards or office access, I need you to come find me afterwards, because currently I'm the only person who can get you one of those. So please come speak with me, and also a big thank you to everybody who went up before their peers today and tried to be appointed as parliamentarian. I know it's not easy to go up and try to win a position. It's not easy when you go up against another person. It is definitely not easy when you're going against 5 other people. So thank you to all of you who went up there and did a fabulous job. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you all.
Senator Thompson.
Just a quick little reminder, back to the Boston Bridges. If you're also in New Student Seminar, because I am, we have to do events that we have to go to, so that would be a really easy way to go.
Indeed. And thank you for being here the whole time.
Absolutely.
It's
I
crazy.
love hanging out with y'all.
A 2-hour meeting, and And hopefully we'll be getting out of here at 9:04 because we're moving into adjournment. Make a motion to adjourn. Senator Weaver.
I motion to adjourn.
Seconded by Senator Majors. Can I get a voice vote?
Aye.
Any opposed? Going once, going twice, seeing now, right here, 9:04.
Yeah, I was.
We talked about ways of.
I need a volunteer.
One is fine, two is pushing.
No.